Seconds in.
All right, let's do it.
All right, say hi, YouTube.
What up, Tube?
Hi.
What up, Tube? All right, and last but certainly not least, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's rock it and roll it. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday. Hernanci is here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The insurance bro, James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance. And boy, am I excited today. It surely is a very happy Monday. Not only do I get back to doing what I love every day, but somebody has warmed my heart.
dude,
Warmed it. Big
and many feet.
And many feet. Yeah, let's not forget about the feet, right? Coming to us from Keller Williams and bringing with her a ton of shoes. If we just kind of peek back here behind me there. Yep. Bringing all those shoes with her. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Lizzie Lee.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Lizzie, you are a rock star. So we've been trying to get to 365 pairs of shoes, and we haven't really actively been doing it. And we committed to doing it not too long ago. Like maybe we committed to the 365 at the beginning of the year, somewhere around there. But we didn't proactively do it. It's kind of like real estate agents that get in the game but don't actually make follow-through phone calls, right? Mm-hmm. So we were talking about that. We weren't doing our follow-up. So we set ourselves up to have some follow-ups. We set some stuff up. But before those even took off, you walked in with bag after bag after... You were like freaking Santa Claus. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Mind you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
dude, so you put a post the other day.
Yes, I put a post, what was that, Thursday, to let everybody know that I was coming to meet you guys and that you guys have a goal. And that would be very cool if everyone can donate some shoes. And I kid you not,
You put
my
10.
car was full. Yeah, I had a goal of 10. And I think I have like 300 pairs of shoes.
Dude, it's a grip of shoes.
Maybe not 300, but...
Dude, when she showed up to the door ham, she was holding like 3 bags, right? And I was like, oh, you're amazing. She's like, I have more. Wait here. So I brought these 3 bags up, came back down. She handed me another couple bags. And she's like, hold on, I still got more.
Oh, my God.
Dude, they just kept coming like Christmas.
Wow, I walked in the door and I just looked over and I saw like 10 bags over there, and I got a little teary-eyed, a little misty. I was like, oh my God.
So what we're going to do after the show, we're going to do a quick count. We'll line them up, and then we'll send you a video of like the full thing lined up. So maybe not after this show because we have another event we have to go to at 6:30. But we're going to try to do it either today, because I'm pretty sure we have enough time to at least lay them out and count them. Mm-hmm. And if not, tomorrow. And I will send you a video with the big thank you, everything on social. So if you guys want to see that, at Business Bros Pod. And Lizzie, your Instagram is right under your name, I think, right? Did we put it in Instagram?
It was a second ago.
Oh, there you go. Boom.
Let's go ahead and throw that on there for a second. Go ahead.
There you go. You can go like that, Lizzie, right there. So we'll send it right there. You guys can say, and honestly, every single person that posted on your feed, that sent a message, that had shoes delivered, thank you guys very, very much. I made sure to go on there and thank you guys as you were posting also. But big thank you to all of you guys, Lizzie, and you for putting it together.
No, huge thank you to all my friends that donated shoes. You don't know how much this means to the homeless community in San Diego.
You know what? I mean, it's I hate saying it like this. It's a problem. The beautiful thing is, the reason why we have that problem is because we have such beautiful weather, right? So this is one of those things where we can help people, even if it's something small as what they put on their feet, it'll make all the difference in their life on a day-to-day basis. Absolutely. You never know what benefit this can come for them. Maybe it's that extra step that takes them in the positive direction. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah,
I love it. I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. All right, I got one more promo because that was the original one, right? One more is August 24th. We're gonna have a beach cleanup in IB. So if you have community service hours, maybe you have a high schooler, or you know somebody in high school, or you just want to come out and be part of the community, IB, August 24th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to get more information on that tomorrow. I'll have a lot more details. So at Business Bros Pod, if you're interested, maybe you want to be a food truck or some sort of vendor or something like that, or you just want to come out and help us clean up the beach because it's a good thing to do. It's our hometown. It's where we grew up. We were from IB, and it's a cool little opportunity for you guys to come out. So August 24th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right, let's get on with it. Lizzie, you ready?
Yes, sir.
tell me a little bit about you. How long have you been in this real estate game? What'd you do before, and how did you decide to get into this thing?
Sure. So I have had my license for about 4 years. I've been doing it full time for 3 years. Prior to real estate, I was doing medical sales. I worked for a radiology brokerage. After that, I worked for a medical staffing company. After that, I worked at Sharp Steely doing patient relations, and here I am.
So sales has kind of been your thing for a while?
Yes.
Is it like what brought you to sales? Like, were you like a straight A student, decided, nah, this is not for me, I'm gonna go into sales, or like how did you fall into that?
Everyone always told me that I am a good speaker. I didn't know what that meant, but I went with it.
You're like, I could talk.
Yeah. I actually was not thinking about going into real estate at all. I actually really wanted to go into HR. But my husband thought that real estate would have been a good option for me. At the time, me and my husband didn't own real estate, knew nothing about it, didn't have many friends or family that did real estate, but I was like, hey, why the heck not?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, so I got my license. First year, I was working per diem at Sharp Steely. And then my husband was just like, you know what, you should just do real estate full time. I wasn't seeing any benefits that first year. I didn't know what the heck I was selling, who I was selling to, what I was even saying. My husband was just like, for every hour that you put into your part-time job, just put it right into real estate. And I did, and that was when I saw the most growth in my business.
Tell me, let's dive in a little bit deeper with that, because there are a lot of agents who start in this business, and within 6 months, they haven't gotten a deal, they haven't closed anything.
Yeah.
They're high and dry with their funds because they got bills to pay, and they up and leave. Like,
Right.
What pushed you beyond that?
So when I decided to quit my part-time job, so this is going to go real deep because this is the whole why. This is what we do, what gets us up in the morning. I could tell you all day that it's my family, but it's a lot deeper than that. When I left my part-time job, my husband picked up a second full-time job. At the time, we had a newborn baby. And so for him to take on a second part-time job or a second full-time job, he was literally working his ass off. Sorry about the...
It's all right. It's all right. We're clear with that.
He was working his butt off, and it meant a lot to me that he was sacrificing the time with his newborn to be able to allow me to grow as a person, to grow my business, to just learn more about what I want to do in life. So he made such a huge sacrifice to even be able to allow me to do this. And so that's why I have no option to fail. I cannot fail.
Can't let them down.
No, I can't.
I mean, that's a super supportive spouse. A lot of them will be like, hey,
Good
you
luck.
need to, figure it out on your own. Yeah. I mean, not on your own, but I got your back, but by I got your back meaning like you better still bring in half the revenue here, or be splitting half the time here, because a newborn is every 3 hour feeding.
Totally.
Right, and then twice for diapers. Like, I mean, stuff's going on a regular basis, and you're trying to build a new life. Yeah. What was that like?
A struggle. It was a struggle to find the balance. I mean, even to this day, it's a struggle. So a little side note about me. So I've been doing it full time for 3 years. I have 3 kids. So every single year that I've been doing it full time, I've had a newborn baby.
Oh, yeah. You don't like, stress at all in your life.
No.
Yeah, you don't like compound problems. That's cool. No, but each kid is a blessing, first of all, right? I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way. But being pregnant, doing open houses.
I was legit door knocking. I was climbing upstairs, door knocking till like 37 weeks. Ooh. I wrote an offer at the hospital when I was in labor, and I opened escrow the day that I left. Legit.
What?
In labor. Hang on. Oh, here we go.
You want zip forms on your laptop or on the phone?
I mean, epidural set, we're good, and I'm like, okay, babe, laptop.
Okay, wait. This is obviously not baby number 1.
Rock star.
No, that was 3.
Yeah, okay. The first one, you don't really know what's up.
No.
Right?
No.
Second one, you got a good grip. By the third one, you're like, bring my laptop.
Calling escrow, yeah.
Wow.
So I opened escrow the day that I left the hospital.
Holy moly.
Can I put you on hold 1 second? I got to push.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
What did you name number 3?
Get ready for it. Charles Xavier.
No.
Yes.
I resemble that remark. Charles Xavier.
Charles Xavier.
Awesome. Okay, so you got 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You've obviously never stopped hustling, no matter what you were doing. Apparently, even giving birth doesn't stop, Lizzie.
Heck no.
Right? So how do you? This is year 3 already. Walk me through like year 1. What's that struggle like? What are the things that you're feeling at that time?
Yeah, so when my husband told me to get my license, I was like, dude, whose house am I supposed to sell? What are you talking about? It was a struggle trying to figure out what the heck I was doing. There's no manual. There's no cliff notes on how to be a successful realtor. You really have to
step in it.
Yeah, you really have to submerge yourself into real estate in order to know what you're even talking about. I went to every single free class from SDAR. I listened to podcasts. I read books. I did everything that I can to learn the industry.
What was the trigger? What do you think was that thing that clicked? Like all of a sudden you were like, maybe not the thing that that got you the deal, but something that clicked in your mind like, okay, this is how I'm doing things.
So when I first got my license, I had a lot of people telling me you'd be really lucky if you made 1 sale your first year. And I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way that I can, have a family, be able to support, and only make 1 sale. That doesn't make any sense. Might as well just keep up with my job at Sharp. So I really made it my goal to not be that person. I had to be successful. So my first year in real estate, I closed 11.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was the one with another 1 next to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so at that point is when I really realized I can do it. Everyone's telling me, no, you can't do it. And I will prove you wrong. And so closed 11 my first year.
Where did they come from? Were they part of your close circle? Did you go fishing for them?
Half was my sphere, and the other half was pure prospecting.
What kind of prospecting were you doing?
Door knocking, calls. We target notice of default, non-owner occupied, high equity. Mm-hmm. We definitely sweat to make some money.
Oh yeah, 37 weeks door knocking. You better be sweating. Right? So prospecting's become a big major part of your life at that point. Is it still today one of those big things that you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I just recently moved to Keller Williams, and my whole intent to coming to Keller Williams was to grow a team. Not knowing all the different caveats that come with growing a team. Second week being there, I am now a team of 3. Now I have a team of 4 and an assistant. Mm-hmm. And so I'm teaching them how to prospect. One just got a new listing, somebody that they prospected a notice of default. We have an assistant that helps us with our prospecting, and so it's kind of a team effort. We block out 2 hours a day of prospecting. Everyone says, same time every day, Monday through Friday. But I found that to be really hard to maintain. And so
well, A, to maintain, right? Yeah. But B, you don't know when people are going to be home at all times. So maybe you hit them up in the morning, and these are the people who are at work at that time. Maybe you hit them up at lunch, and that's when they're available. Yeah. But you need to sit down and set an appointment. Maybe you hit them up around 4:00 on a Thursday, right? And all of a sudden they're there. Yeah. So I think that flexibility, it works both ways.
Yeah. That's actually how I like to run my schedule. Is I have 2 hours a day that I need to accomplish, whether that be 30 minutes here and then an hour and a half later. As long as I accomplish 2 hours in a day, regardless of when it is, then we're complete for the day.
How's it been bringing new people on? You said only about 2 weeks that you've had you've built a team.
So I've 2 weeks into being at Keller Williams. I've been at Keller Williams for, I think, 4 months now.
4 months now? What was it like bringing on that first one? I'm sure that first one it's like having a kid, right? Like the first one is you don't know what's up and you're kind of figuring it out. By number 3, you got a little bit of better handle on it.
Yeah, so when like I had mentioned, I didn't know everything that came into growing a team. All that I knew is that I wanted to grow a team. And so here I am with a team, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Where do I start? I had no idea that I was getting phone calls at 5 a.m. I was getting text messages at 4:30, and it was definitely a learning curve for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dig deeper on this. Why you wanted a team thing? Why do you think it was something that you wanted to aspire to? Why a team? Why not a top-notch single producer?
I just want to be able to spend more time with my family. I have 3 young kids, 5, 3, 1. These are the best times for me to be able to spend with them. And so I would love to maintain my career while still being mom.
So you're looking for time. Looking for time. How's it working out so far?
Not that good. Like I said, we're still learning.
You know what? Yeah. I bring that up because oftentimes people run into this problem. They start a business, because this is what you're doing. You started your business as a self-employed realtor, and then they want to scale because they want to get more time. And if they don't scale correctly, you end up figuring out really quick that you've created a bigger job for yourself.
Totally.
Babysitting your kids, or having your own personal kids, and then babysitting adults. And that becomes problematic, and then they tend to burn out. The other aspect of it is if you don't set it up like a business, you tend to run and operate, and your team might close a lot of deals, but you're seeing your net not being as much as you want it to be. And then you start thinking, now I'm spending all this time, and for what? You know what I mean? And so I'm kind of wondering, because you're early on in this process, is this something that you want to fine tune and work towards and develop? Or is this something like you're thinking about it, you're like, you know what, maybe I'm in over my head. Do I really want to do this? I can go back to being top producer me by myself with one admin and make the same amount, if not more money.
It's really funny that you say that, because I've been reading a lot of books about, growing a team, and it was one of those things where obviously when I first got into the whole idea of growing a team, I wanted more time. It's definitely taking up a lot more time than I had ever imagined, but I'm okay with it. I don't feel like I'm in over my head. I feel like we're all learning. And to see them close escrows is literally the most rewarding thing. It's more rewarding than my own escrows, just because it's like, man, you started off like this little baby learning how to walk, and now here you are just darting for the finish line.
Full speed ahead.
It is amazing of a feeling.
It's you have little graduates.
Yeah, I love it.
You have little graduates.
I love it.
Are the agents that are coming on your team, have they been in the business for a while, or are you taking a brand new?
So 2 of them got their license in January. And then one just got their license like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah. Well, yeah. It's funny because we could parallel that. Like what James does on a regular basis is bring on, green agents. Every once in a while we get agents that have been in the business for a while.
Insurance, though.
Insurance, yeah. But most of them are new. What have you been experiencing as far as with a new person, habits-wise maybe? And maybe I'll shoot it back to you and see what the comparison is like.
They don't have any habits, and that's what I really like, is that I'm not trying to go against their habits and their work style, their work ethics. It's just they are hungry. They want to learn. They want to grow. They want to be successful, and that's what I love about them.
What about you? You seen a lot of the same things?
Yeah, I suppose so. I would agree that definitely our brand new people don't have habits, and that's absolutely an advantage. We get to teach them the habits that we want to, and I still want to find ways to implement things like Anthony Manzon's what was it, the 100,
the power calls,
power calls, power 100s or whatever that, yeah, stuff like that.
Dude, those are crazy. So he's a big systems guy, right? Mm-hmm. So he put systems in place to help build this team so that when a new agent comes in, there's a process every step of the way.
I love his process. So I actually I've taken Bold,
mm-hmm.
and him and his team are really big on doing Bold. Mm-hmm. And so I took it with them, and I just saw how well they work. They are a well-oiled machine, mm-hmm. And that's what I love about his structure. So in order to be on the team, I think they have to do
it's like 100 calls a day for like 7 days or something like that.
It's not just 100 calls, it's 100 contacts.
100 contacts, sorry, 100 contacts.
Yeah, and so he's basically weeding out the people that aren't that hungry. And that's great. I love that.
And how tough is that though when you have a new agent?
Freaking hard.
Right? I mean,
it is so hard, but to implement that habit from the beginning, like you're only setting yourself up to
succeed.
Beyond succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of it comes down to those habits that you're doing on a regular basis. You already know. You yourself internally are setting aside those 2 hours a day to make your prospecting calls, whatever it's going to be, whether it's half hour here, but you are dedicated to doing those 2 hours a day. Taking that dedication and trying to apply it to somebody else, now that is a different skill.
Yeah.
That's totally, to me, one of those difficult things. I have 17-year-old kids every day. Trying to implement a process that becomes a habit for them is something that I'm working on now. Like I'm trying to get them to journal every day, 10 minutes a day. Just sit down, write whatever's in your head, put it down on paper. Right now, it's a forced thing because they're 17-year-old kids. How are you going to force them? How are you going to get them to do it? But hopefully a year down the road when we get ready to graduate, now it's something they look forward to on a daily basis. Getting their ideas on paper, doing it on a regular basis because it's going to lead to something else. What are you doing with your team to get them motivated to do those 2 hour blocks on a regular basis?
So we actually have weekly commitment boards in the office. They are in the office a majority of the time. And every week we just basically write down 5 goals that we will accomplish. They obviously have to be obtainable. Only because you get burnt out if you don't achieve your goals, and it's just like, F this, why am I even doing this? And so they have to be something that you can achieve and that you can actually mark off, rather than saying, I'm going to prospect this week. Okay, awesome. Well, how can we measure that? Yeah, exactly. And so to put a number on there, I'm going to prospect 10 hours every week, then it's something that we can actually track. And so that's something that we've been doing at the office to kind of just keep each other accountable. I want to make sure that those are marked off on a weekly basis. That way we all stay on track. We do one-on-ones, weekly one-on-ones, and then bi-weekly team meetings. So I know I remember talking to a couple different Keller Williams agents, and a lot of them have a morning process when they get to the office. They have their affirmations or their goal setting, whatever it's going to be. Do you have a specific routine that you do with your people on a regular basis to get them like fired up to get going? Just come to the office. Just show up. Just come. That's all. Just show up. That's all I ask. No, I mean, but it just depends. Everybody's culture is a little bit different, right? I mean, same thing with us. We have a daily call that we have with our team. It's not really the fire up, get ready. Our agents are all over California, so it's like hop on the call and show up and be there. But showing up is a big thing. Yeah, I am a true believer that if you surround yourselves around successful people, then you yourself will be successful. So as long as you are in the office and you surround yourself around people that are grinding, people that are working, people that are making calls, people that are scheduling appointments, you will consume that and you will be as successful. Yeah, well, and not just that. Most people in sales are competitive anyways. They're like, you got one? Oh, I gotta get one. I gotta get one too, right? I gotta set up an appointment. If you see somebody on the phone, it's just like, holy crap, I should get on the phone too. Yeah, what are you doing looking at them for? Get on the phone. Right? Yeah. What do you think you are where you are today? You look back, 4 years ago where you just started. Where do you see yourself next year or going forward? Ooh. It's a toughie question, huh? That is. Oh, it's one of those that, man, you should have sent me that question ahead of time. I know. But I mean, we all have something in our minds where we want to be, where I can attain this, and like you were talking about specific goals, right? So by X amount of years, I want to be at this point in my life. Where do you think that is? I would love to shoot. Anywhere? There's so much that I would love to travel more. I would love to see my team have teams under them. Mm-hmm. Nice. Because it's not all about me. It's really is about, you guys were asking me what my team name is. I don't have a team name. And the reason, because I don't want to name a team Lizzie Lee Real Estate because it shouldn't be all about me. It should be about their success also. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of why I have such a hard time figuring out a name, is because it shouldn't be about me.
It's something, yeah, because it's something transformative, right? You're taking somebody who's never done something. You want to give them the skills and the ability to do it. You want them to thrive in whatever they're doing. And you don't want them to leave the team because they feel it's not their own. You want them to have sense of ownership, to have
Absolutely.
pride in what it is. I mean, Keller does that pretty well. Keller Williams does that pretty well. You have a pride of ownership in your own team, in your own brokerage. You have a pride of ownership with the people that you've grouped up within the organization.
Right.
And they give you the tools necessary to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine you kind of want to embody the same type of thing. Right? You want your people to thrive and make something of themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, then let me twist the question a little bit. New agent that walked onto that 2 weeks ago, right? Where do you want them to be a year from now? What would be a success story for them?
So he actually has a full-time job. I would love to see him quit that full-time job and just take on real estate full-time.
That's where you want him to be.
Yeah, I want him comfortable enough to be able to make that leap, take that risk, and get in real estate full-time.
Because let's dive into that for a second,
that's
right?
huge.
That's what I was going to say. Let's dive into that for a second. You're asking for someone to walk away from what I call maximum security, right? So every single day he knows that he's going to clock in, he's going to clock out. He knows that every time he gets paid, he's going to get this paycheck amount. He knows that every month his bills are going to be paid on time. That is a very seductive lifestyle to live. Like, most people are W-2 employees because of that comfort.
Right.
You're asking someone to give that up for the insecurity of, I don't know when my next sale is going to be. I'm only as good as my last sale. I need to prospect and have leads in the pipe. I need to be able to set appointments on a regular basis, go to these appointments, present like a master, and close deals.
Yeah, why not?
Right? No, I'm just saying, like, I totally agree with you. That would be a great goal. I'm just, when you lay it out like that, to be able to get someone to go from that mindset, completely shift them over to take over the other side, you're right. That's amazing.
But you're not thinking about the exponential growth in real estate. The close after close after close. There is no ceiling in real estate. Mm-hmm. The sky is the limit. So if you limit yourself to your W-2 job and not take that risk, then you're missing out.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No, I love that. I mean, that you're absolutely right. I talk to my 17-year-old kids all the time, and we're right now we're working on a chapter in employment. So we just finished up W-2. Today we were talking about commissions and royalties, and now we get to see the difference, right? Like, that's why I refer to W-2 as maximum security, because the other thing that's maximum security is a prison, right? So you have, a bed, you have walls, you have a roof. You have food, you have running water, toilet, all these things that you need to survive. The only thing you're missing is freedom, right? You don't get to come and go as you please. Versus over here on the real estate side, well, you might not know where you're going to sleep or lay down or whatever, but you can build yourself a mansion, or you can build yourself a cottage on the beach, and you can place it anywhere you want, in the mountains, on the street, wherever you want to live. It's completely up to you. You have 100% control of your life. And you're right, the sky's the limit, but you get to choose. Mm-hmm. It's just a mindset shift, right?
Someone told me before, it's not how much you make, it's how well you manage your money. So if you end up making, 1 or 2 sales, if you manage your money well, you shouldn't have to worry about that next sale. Mm-hmm.
That's true. I mean, let's think about, we're in San Diego. We have a median price of about $550,000, roughly, give or take, right? I mean, 3% commission on that. It's gonna be like $15,000-$17,000. Maybe let's call it what, 13 after your broker split. So one deal a month is it's not too shabby. One deal every other month.
A deal a month is really good.
It's really good, right? One deal every other month. Well, you did 11, so that was almost one deal a month, right? So one deal every other month, you can still survive. But why shoot for the bottom?
Totally.
If you have a deal in the pipe, if you have a deal in escrow, why stop prospecting? Why just focus your attention on the one deal? Why not continue to prospect?
Yeah.
Why not have a system in place?
And that's actually what I tell my team all the time, is that when I first got into real estate, I would live through one transaction. That I would only 100% just concentrate on that one that's in escrow. Then once it closes, it's just like, all right, cool, got to start all over. Now where do I start? And then I'm just teaching them now you got to start overlapping. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to get to the point where you have 4 in escrow and it's just like, holy crap, where's the next one? And you just keep going.
Because it's, I like to use, I heard this from Tim Harris, one of the real estate coaches I listen to. It's like getting a plane off the ground, right? You're going to use the most fuel at takeoff. But once you reach, cruising altitude, there's not very much fuel burning. Now you're just coasting. And that's what we're doing when we're building up our real estate practice at the beginning. Right. We're doing a lot of prospecting. We're trying to get as many listings as we possibly can, get as many buyers as we possibly can. But once we're up to, 3-4 listings that we have in our back pocket that are there, we're getting ready to close, one goes into escrow, guess what? All I have to do is prospect for one more, replace the one that's gone. And then now you can have a predictable business at that point. Exactly. You know that if I have 4 listings at all times or 5 listings at all times, I know that 1 or 2 are going to close every month. And I'm not prospecting to get 5 listings anymore. I'm only prospecting to find the other 2. And it's just consistently adding to that. Absolutely. One falls off, pick up another one. One falls off, pick up another one. And you know every single month exactly what you want to be. And if you want to double that, you can. Put more fuel in the tank and just keep driving. But it's completely up to you. You have to have that predictable source. I liked how you said that, overlapping, because it's the difference between deal to deal, what we call cash spurts in real estate versus cash flow, right? You want that predictability to be coming in on a regular basis. Man, I'm anxious to see what your team's going to be like next year.
Me too.
This could be a good one.
All right, if it was ideal, how many people would you have on your team by next year?
Oh, shoot. So I have 3 under me right now. And I don't feel like I'm dying. So at least double.
All right.
We shall see.
I like it.
You know what? I like that because it's manageable. Yeah. Right? You're not like...
I still want to be able to give everyone the attention that they deserve.
Well, and not just they deserve, they need. Right?
They need, yeah.
If you're taking on the newbies, because there's some people who build teams and they're like, I'm not taking on new people. I'm just taking on experienced agents.
And that's funny, because one of the agents on my team was actually brought on by another agent, and she thought that they were going to go on a team together, and it was more so like, you go join somebody else's team, get trained up first, and then you can come to me. She's like, well, damn, somebody just did all the hard work for you.
Yeah. No, see, but
that's not fair.
I commend you for taking on the new ones, because you will have more of a turnover. We have a lot of turnover when it comes to new people. They just don't quite understand what they're getting into. But if you set them up right, they will be the most loyal to you because you helped get them from 0 to hero.
Right. I mean, I was there too. We've all been new, and we all felt like we're going to struggle. We all wanted to throw in the towel. Shoot, I mean, a year down the line, I was on Craigslist trying to find a job, and my husband was just like, stop right now and just get back into it. No.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
100%. Man, how long you been married?
Oh, 6 years.
6 years. How long were you guys dating before you got married?
10.
10 years dating before you got married. Woo! See? My wife can't complain now. We were dating 6 years before we got married. So we've been together, going on 18 years now.
Dang.
It's a long time, right? Don't worry, I'm not that old, ladies and gentlemen.
You will be in a couple days.
Yeah, shit it. All right, Lizzie, we're going to do the Ask the Bros. So feel free to ask James or myself any question you like, personal or business.
So which one was the better son?
Growing up? Oh, yeah.
That one's easy.
Who was a favorite?
Oh, I don't know. Favorite's a different term. So, I'm the third, right? So when it comes to grandpa, like, because he was the first, I'm the third. I was definitely grandpa's favorite. Yep. That was plainly obvious.
So you're the baby.
No, I'm the oldest.
Oh, the oldest.
Yeah.
Oldest on dad's side.
Oldest on dad's side. So and there I was always the favorite. That was mijo. That's it. Like that was hands down the way it worked. In our household, however, like at home, I was still the favorite. I don't know. I don't want to call it favorite. Because you know why? Because mom always talks to him every single, like, all the time.
That's true. I call mom a lot
He
more.
calls mom, and mom talks to him. I talk to mom when mom needs something or I need something. And, like, you know, I love mom. It's just a different relationship. But as a kid,
I was the worst.
he was the worst.
The actual factual worst.
Yeah, like.
What do you mean by worst, though?
Throwing temper tantrums, trying to stab my brothers through the door with a knife, breaking legs off of tables and chasing them around with it.
He was bad, dude.
I was bad.
He was bad.
Oh man. Oh, not to mention the 5S and a B that I got freshman year. So you know my academics didn't really help out any, but yeah.
Yeah, he was the absolute worst. You couldn't tell now. You couldn't tell now, but growing up, he was a toughie. See, and that's why I don't think
Lizzie's like, oh my god, what am I in for?
Did I just ask that question? All right, well, we're gonna call this one.
No, it was pretty wild. Lucky we got through it, you know.
Yeah. So I wasn't the favorite. I just didn't destroy things and run around with my emotions on my sleeve.
Can't blame me for that one. You know what?
Yeah, exactly. Good question, by the way.
Good one. That was a good one.
You embarrassed James again. Yes.
Score.
Made him sing, and he talked about how he destroyed stuff as a kid.
I don't know what you want from me, man.
All right, Lizzie. Oh man, I want you to look.
Hang on. Let me see. No, mom signed off already. She wasn't watching.
She'll listen to it later. All right, look at this camera, Lizzie. I want you to tell people how they can be a part of your team or how they can work with you if they so choose to.
Absolutely. You guys can call me, message me, text me, come to my office. It's in Sabre Springs, Keller Williams, Sabre Springs. Actually, Keller Williams, North Inland, off of Sabre Springs Parkway.
Is that in that's North County or Spring Valley?
North County.
North County. So you had quite a drive this way.
I put this in my navigation. And I was like, serious? 40 minutes.
I know.
And I gotta bring all these shoes.
Right. So thank you.
Yes.
Kudos to you. I was like, Sabre Springs. That's North County. Holy moly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Lizzie, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you coming down. Really, really, really appreciate all the shoe donations.
Absolutely.
Those are amazing. We love it. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're like I said, ladies and gents, 365 pairs is the goal. Lizzie just knocked that goal way up. So she asked for 10 pairs of shoes, and
I got 10 bags.
She got like 10 bags of shoes. So if she could do it, anybody else could do it. We're gonna hit that 365 marker sooner rather than later. Big ups to Lizzie and her team for that shoe donation. August 24th, beach cleanup in IB, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're interested, hit us up at Business Bros Pod, any of our social medias, and we'll send you all the details for that. James, you look like you're about to say something.
No.
Oh, all right, cool.
I got nothing.
All right, well, Lizzie, thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out.
All right, another
Bye,
embarrassing
Facebook.
one for me. I love it. Well, I mean, it's all my own fault, you know. I give away way too much information. I do overshare. Love you, Facebook.
All right, that app you can erase.